This is LNTV News Live. 30-minute package of major news events in Liberia and other parts of the world. I'm Daniel Ankra, anchoring tonight. Top stories we following. Big boost for the government hospital in Grand-Bassa County as government provides $50,000 US plus 500 gallons of fuel for operations. To enhance adequate garbage collection, Painesville City Corporation wants 50% of all garbage fees collected by the Liberia Marketing Association. Ahead of the National Armed Forces Day celebration, the Ministry of National Defense hosts a symposium on sustaining peace through army welfare. Away from home, Tunisian teachers protest for higher wages and better working conditions. These stories plus much more are coming up this evening. We take a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to LNTV News Live. To our first story now, the Liberian Senate has concurred with the House of Representatives in passing the Abdullah Kamara Act of Press Freedom. The decision followed recommendations from the Senate Committee on Information, Broadcasting, Culture and Tourism. Following the passage of the act by the lower house in July last year, Thursday's concurrence by the Senate now decriminalizes free speech in Liberia. The Abdullah Kamara Act of Press Freedom now repeals Section 11.11, 11.12, 11.14 of the Liberian Code Revised Penal Code of 1978. The government of Liberia has made $50,000 United States available, along with 500 gallons of fuel and an ambulance to the government-run hospital in Buchanan, Grand-Bassa County. George Weah is the county superintendent. He spoke when key government officials visited the county recently.
God that the president sent able lieutenants, they have promised to give $50,000 to start the work through the MPA. They get some donation, 2 motorbikes. You know how to get it. They already tell you how you're going to get it.
In an ambulance.
In an ambulance. So we're getting there. I think you'll see around here. We try to work on the roads already, so that the ambulance can be bouncing with the patients. It is difficult, but we can help to do some. We may not do all, but we're here to work along with our caucus, national government, to make sure that the right thing happens for our people.
Bassa Superintendent George Weah. A fundraiser for the construction of a monument in honor of President George Weah has been launched in the country. The program is meant to construct a 10-feet monument at a cost of $250,000 United States dollars. David Coty is the vision bearer.
George Weah has made us proud. Because of his sports legacy, we are all respected in Africa and Liberia. So I said to myself, I'm going to announce to the world that this man must be honored. And the only way he's going to be honored is by building a monument in his honor here at the SKD. And so I started thinking about how to do it. I said, okay, let me contact a few friends. Then I contacted a few friends. Here they are today. And let's give them a very big hand. The monument is going to be 10 feet high. It is going to be a bronze monument, 10 feet high. That monument is going to last for centuries. We're not talking about 50 years or 20 years or whatever. Centuries. It's going to be done in a place called Maryland in the United States by a group called Backwater. Backwater has done several monuments all over the world, in Africa, Europe, and America. They have 40 years of experience in this thing. Your question may be, why didn't you do it yet?
This program was graced by an array of government officials and also friends of football legend George Weah. Following the overview, the monument project was launched by Musa Ability, who urged Liberians to contribute towards the project and recognize the efforts the president has made in promoting peace in Liberia.
everyone who contributes to this project will be recognized in the making of the project. I spoke to Cody on this, and the reason is that the contribution is not going to be, as far as I'm concerned, and you can correct me, it's not going to be an open warfare. We're looking for $200,000, and when we have $200,000, the contribution closes. So therefore, the individuals that pay this money will be remembered, will publish a name, and those, whatever structure that we have there, we will recognize you to say that you pay $1. We're not going to just allow it to go in vain, because I know years from now, this will be one of the most important things that we can ever do for ourselves, not for George Weah. Because as God people, for me, this is a show of gratitude. Whether we appreciate the things that people do for us, if we appreciate the joy that George Weah brought to us as a footballer, if we appreciate the pride that he gave us as a
businessman Musa Ability there speaking when he launched a project, a monument to be built in honor of football legend George Weah. The Pinsville City Corporation is proposing 50% of all garbage fees collected by the Liberian Marketing Association to be given to the PCC for garbage collection. Pinsville City Mayor Pam Belcher Taylor made the proposal Wednesday when she visited Gorbachev Market in Red Light.
Next thing you heard in the newspaper last week that when you pay garbage fee to LMA can give us some of the money. The LMA people here, I want talking in front of everybody today. I want talking to everybody today. And you pay to LMA every day. LMA does not, they don't bring no money to Pinsville City Corporation every day to put it in the mayor here, to put it in anybody here. LMA not bring money to us on up to 5 occasions now. To bring the fuel here, I got a receipt in my telephone. Every time we put fuel in the machine every night, that $555 for all the machine that can come here. Every time, we've been here for 2 weeks. You have to take the calculator, do 555 times 14 to see how much money we spend on fuel to clean the market here. It's not fair to the city. The city ain't getting money. We got to be begging people. We got to be crediting fuel from Total or from SB Lazard and SB gas station that credited us. Because I say, he might be not supposed to live like this. But if we come to help you, you got to help yourself. If you're paying the money to LMA, you're sitting down with LMA to talk to PCCO. And every day you're paying, we want to divide the money here. Because I'm talking it now. Let everybody in Liberia hear me. If they don't bring money to us on a daily basis, when I tell them 4 times a week, we will come, we clear the day. But when I say we clear the day, that means you just take the day, but you just drop it anywhere. You put that day inside the BB plastic bag, we all find place together in the market. Where play you will put the day. And you show PCC where play you will put the day, and that $20, 10 20 LD, 10 LD will come to PCC, 10 LD go to LMA.
Well, she's Pam Belcher Taylor, the mayor of the city of Pinsville. Well, some marketers in Gorbachev Market have criticized the Liberian Marketing Association for the huge stockpile of garbage that has been sitting there for a while.
For dead not finishing from here. Because of the marking, the type of marking are here, the planting get dikes. And then they can take the dike again from the main road, in front of the store, and things. But you people are the ones who put the dike here. They bring the goods from all the time, and they sell here. They collect coffee and things. So we here we're selling, as for me, I'm selling water, I'm selling oil, and I'm selling plenty. So what do you think will be the best way to stop the dike? Just for us to continue cleaning the place.
Jerome D. Duty, dweller of the place. The people collect money from the people that sell on the fee. They suffer our brother and sister on the fee, my brother. Just imagine one planting here, you collecting 30 LD. 30 LD. My brother, if you look at the camera, come in, please. Procrastination is very dangerous. I am not procrastinating your time. Let me just speak off my mind. If you want me to speak, let me get to the issue. They collect $30, sir. They collect 30 LD for each planting here. What will you collect $30? Just imagine when every blessed day, my brother, for God's sake, come and take a survey tomorrow. Will be here.
One of the community dwellers, as well as some marketers there, providing their thoughts and claims and allegations on the Liberian Marketing Association. Well, when contacted, the LMA representative to Gobatrop Market, John Gibson, underscored the urgent need to meet with the city corporation in addressing the garbage issue.
I would collect from people who is a daily tour at the pay to the entity. We use some money to run our operational activities of the LMP and also use it to pay some quota to the various cities to clean our real market. You know, garbage is very expensive. The LMA don't have the financial capacity to handle garbage. You understand? Even Liberia also don't have the capacity financially to handle garbage. This is why you see World Bank and other international partners and philanthropists are coming to Liberia to help our country. But the little we have, we can always give it to the city government. But it's little, as the mayor said, it's not sufficient to actually clean the real marketplace. But what she has said today, first and foremost, I just want to extend thanks and appreciation to the city mayor and her staff for the job well done. They did well, you know, contributed towards the project. Not much, but at least the effort we made, she appreciated the effort. That's why she has cancelled our to make sure that PV is clean.
He is a representative of the Liberian Marketing Association there in Gobatrop Market. Well, the chairman of the ruling Coalition for Democratic Change, Moba Molu, has registered the important role the media has to play in the democratic process of Liberia. According to him, the media is a partner to the developmental goals of the country and should be recognized. He spoke at a news conference in Monrovia Wednesday.
Is as media friendly as President Weah. He wants to work to promote the interests of the fourth estate. We want you to see the government as your development partner, not as an antagonist. We want you to see this government as determined to move our country forward and deserving of your support in using your page to promote the agenda of government. When we go wrong, report it. We're not saying you should shield us, but take more interest in the good things government is doing to promote the interests of our country and support the agenda of His Excellency. Report more about the roads that have been built. Look at my road. We want to see the effort we are making to resuscitate our economy. We want to see you reporting about the effort we are making to reconcile our country. We want to see on your pages the effort we are making to build hospitals.
The chairman of the ruling party, Moba Molu. If you just joined us, a reminder that you're watching LNTV News Live. And I'm Daniel Ankara anchoring. Top stories we follow tonight. Big boost for the government hospital in Greenbassa County as government provides $50,000 and 500 gallons of fuel. To enhance adequate garbage collection, Kingsville City Corporation wants 50% of all garbage fees collected by the Liberia Marketing Association. Ahead of the National Armed Forces Day celebration, the Ministry of National Defense holds a one-day symposium on sustaining peace through army welfare. Away from home, Tunisian teachers protest for higher wages, better working conditions. These stories plus much more are up. Stay tuned after this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to LNTV News Live. The Ministry of National Defense today held a one-day symposium under the theme Sustaining Peace and Security in Liberia through capacity building and provision of welfare for armed forces of Liberia. The symposium brought together military personnel, members of the legislature and other members of the security sector. Councillor Jamal Jethro delivered the keynote address on behalf of guest speaker Councillor Nibali Warner.
Efforts by the current government to construct a medical facility is quite laudable. When completed, it will go a long way in boosting the morale of the army and giving it an appealing image. However, a lot more needs to be done about the welfare of our soldiers so that they are focused on the mission and wouldn't have to be distracted or take actions that contravene the sustenance of peace. And let me just digress a little. People see the army as a force that protects them. Whenever a soldier appears, a person in distress seems to have immediate relief. Imagine if our soldiers are underpaid, do not have access to the basic social services. They do not live in suitable accommodations. The men and women of the armed forces have families. They have children that go to school. They have wives. They have people who are depending on them. If they cannot provide support for these people, it is going to cause chaos.
His Councillor Jamal Jethro there, proxying for Councillor Nibali Warner. Meanwhile, the Minister of National Defense, Daniel Ziankan, stated in clear terms that the army is a non-political arm of government, but rather meant to serve in the interest of the people.
And I'm going to stick to that. I'm not going to involve in politics, and these guys will take lead from me and the general, because once I'm not involved, we're not seeing for any political rally, anything of such. I'll be around the president, sure, but I will not be part of any political process here. And make no mistake, the soldiers, they are not oblivious of politics. They know politics, that's all they know. But we should not allow our political ideas to affect our daily job. But they will not take part in the politics. Everything you ask of us, we are always playing our part. But it is the population and the government, they are not really playing their part. We talk about civil military relationship, I don't have the input and honorable, we talk about it. We are engaging civil military relationship. We have the engineers, they are getting roles during the Ebola, I think it was mentioned, we helped during flooding along the RRA or maybe to Kakata, we send the Coast Guard. We play our part, but they need some level of softness to support the quality of lives of the soldier. And we are going to do everything within our capacity. We are going to have time off unless it's possible.
He's the Minister of National Defense, Daniel Ziankan. Well, senators at Minnesota State in the United States have signed a resolution calling on President Donald Trump to extend the Deferred Enforced Departure policy known as the DED. The policy, after its 2018 extension by the American president, will expire March 31, 2019. According to Senator John Hoffman, a senator in Minnesota State, it will be detrimental to over 3,000 people, including children, if this decision is not revisited.
The Senate resolution that recognizes the importance of the federal deferred enforcement departure for Liberians. Whereas after civil war began in Liberia in 1989, thousands of residents fled to the United States, including many who settled right here in Minnesota. And whereas deferred enforcement departure, or DED, is a discretionary decision made by the president to protect a class of individuals, those with DED status are given a work permit and protection from deportation. And whereas President George Bush initially designated Liberians for DED in 2007, and subsequent extensions have been given. And then President Donald Trump recently announced that the latest extension until March 31st will be the last extension. And whereas an estimated 4,000 Liberians without alternative opportunities to remain in the United States will lose protection when DED expires next year. And Minnesota has one of the largest Liberian communities in the country, estimated at 30,000. Whereas community members, political leaders of both parties, this is not a partisan issue, religious and business leaders have publicly advocated against the end of DED for Liberians, and the end of DED for Liberians is detrimental to individuals, families, and to the interests of residents to the state of Minnesota.
He's Senator John Huffman of Minnesota State, the USA. The Executive Director of the African Anti-Human Trafficking and People Smuggling Group, Jeremiah Cooper, says this group is raising awareness to prevent such prevalent acts in the country. Speaking to the station today, Mr. Cooper warned young people, especially females, not to easily be lured into seeking opportunities abroad, something he said leads to physical and psychological abuses.
So we are here to break the code of how the whole network worked from West Africa to North Africa, and that was people getting to the Caribbean, the Mediterranean Sea, to Europe and other places where they lost in their life. I'm a victim of human trafficking, smuggling, and I'm here with other colleagues who are experiencing similar things to work together in creating awareness on what is human trafficking and people smuggling that is happening for now from West Africa to North Africa, and telling people exactly how it works and how they can be aware of when similar thing is happening to be able to take preventive measures. Any Liberian woman, somebody asking you to take you out of Liberia, you should know exactly where to carry you for and how to carry you. Because in most cases, that own Liberian brother will carry them at the end of the day. They will be the boyfriend and girlfriend at the same time. They will use them for sex operation. And the Kuwaiti job also is on the market also. Somebody asking you to take you to Kuwait for a job, you should be very skeptical. When they carry you there, some of the thing is that by the time they carry you, they take your passport from you.
Well, for his part, another member of the group, a victim also of child labor himself, Frederick Bangor, stressed the need for such practices to be eliminated from the society.
We have a lot of child laborers in Liberia. You found kids selling the street, selling cold water, selling gums. And at the end of the day, the parents in Nimas, in Grand Bass, or in Bon County, in Kakata, in other rural parts of Liberia, believing that children are in the city going to school with their relatives or with somebody that did the recommendation, whereby that kids are in the street selling. My mother bore me in Moswara County. Being young, I was taken to Nima to a family or a relative, uncle to live with. Growing up, I ended up becoming literally a houseboy, doing everything. And I want to go a little bit personal because this is very serious and it's happening and I'm passionate about it. Okay, I'm going to say one personal thing that maybe later I'll go into detail. One, as a young person, I always had to call my head Sabu or Ball. You understand me? But it is not I will. It is by what I force labor because why I worked so hard as a young boy. Took cassava bag, took corn bags, went in the farms, and did some serious hard laboring and had a toy in my head.
That was not the intention for you going to your uncle.
Thank you.
Well, couldn't have put it any better. The Water Sanitation Hygiene Commission, known as the WASH Commission, Thursday held a one-day sectorial meeting. The focus of the meeting was to address challenges and progress in the WASH sector. Amanda Yassi of LNTV attended the program, from where she now reports.
That's part of the establishment of a commission to promote, regulate and manage water, sanitation and hygiene activities in Liberia. The commission continues to face challenges in the sector. During a sectorial meeting today at the headquarters of the National Water, Sanitation and Hygiene Commission in Monrovia, CEO and Chairman of the National Water and Sanitation Commission, Bobby Whitfield, said the issues of water and sanitation remains one of the biggest challenges facing the country.
The challenge will be surmounted. We will definitely transform those challenges to opportunity. We will be able to transform the story in the WASH sector so that we all can be proud and smart about.
The Commission added, as part of their mandate, they will shortly shoulder the responsibility of water testing, which is now being handled by the National Public Health Institute of Liberia and Phil.
You see, our technical department here places serious emphasis on water quality, and they're going to make sure that they roll out a robust inspectory regime very soon. So our inspectors will be out there in the field.
At a sectoral meeting, the head of UNDP Go WASH project, Momo Kamara, accused LWSC of not sending status report to WASH Commission, which should have been delivered during the President's recent State of the Nation address.
And what do you see what? You need this sector for
quite a while, and you couldn't say anything. What are your challenges? What are the successes? So please take this to Honorable Kamara, my brother, and let him know that the sector is disappointed in him not saying something about water in independent schools.
In response, LWSE managerial consultant George Weah said a report was fired in by his institution through the WASH Commission, but have no idea as to why the report was not highlighted during the President's message.
For the sake of the record, let me make it clear to Mungo Kamara that we did the report, and that report was sent to the President's office to be included into the annual address. So at no time.
Many thanks to Amanda Yasia for that report. Thousands of Tunisian teachers rallied on Wednesday near the Prime Minister's office to demand better work. Tunisian teachers rallied on Wednesday near the Prime Minister's office to demand better work conditions and higher wages in escalation of the protest against the cash-strapping government. The government is under pressure from the international lenders to cut spending and reduce its large budget deficit, but also faces anger over high unemployment, especially amongst the young people in poverty. We have a report as produced by Africa News 24.
Thousands of teachers in Tunisia took to the streets on Friday in the 5th day of protests, demanding an increase in salaries. Teachers in Tunisia's second-largest city, Sfax, like in other parts of the country, have since Monday boycotted the first trimester exams amid rising tensions with government over wages. Disagreements over salary increase, professional promotions, special grants, amongst others, have fueled tensions between the government and the teachers' union. Parents have taken to the social media to criticize the boycott, which they believe affects the academic performance of the students. Since the 2011 revolution, the education sector has been disrupted several times due to teacher protests.
Thousands of teachers there in Tunisia gathering in protest of better pay and better working conditions. Well, folks, that's all we have for you tonight on LNTV News Live. Before going, a recap of our top stories. Big boost for the government hospital in Buchanan, Grambassa County as $50,000 and 500 gallons of fuel gets to be donated by the government. To enhance adequate garbage collection, Pinsville City Corporation wants 50% of all garbage fees collected by the Liberian Marketing Association. Ahead of National Armed Forces Day celebration, the Ministry of National Defense holds one-day symposium on sustaining peace through army welfare. Away from home, Tunisian teachers protest for higher wages and also better working conditions. Thanks to all of you for joining us tonight on LNTV News Live. I've been your anchor and presenter, Daniel Anchor. Have a great evening.